uses one smoke and flash effectively, smoking up into upper and the flash, it works extremely well. And we're already getting directly into this game, guys. So here we go. Pistol round is already underway. Virtus Pro versus Conquest. And we only have one player left alive here for Conquest. Well, that is going to be Stanislaw, and he's in a little bit of a pickle here. He does have the bomb on his back inside bomb site. Going to try and find the edge of that bomb site to get that bomb plant, but he's already got a player worked all the way down very deep, but that's going to be Neo very low on HP. Neo all the way down to 2. It's going to be up to Stan to try and prevent this, trying to work his way around. K takes down Neo. He gets him, trying to find the final shot onto Taz, getting in his face, comes up the ladder on a reload nonetheless, ends up hitting the shot, and Stan will get the 1 versus 2 clutch, gets himself a 2K. Conquest picks up the pistol from the T side of Train, and man, the wherewithal of Stan to make that happen. There was a lot of luck involved. That coming up the ladder on a reload.
On the reload, that was clearly a mistake. You know the player's up there, goes up there while reloading, and yet somehow miraculously he survives. I mean, if anybody was going to do that, it's Stanislaw, who's just so good at just about everything. He's brand new to the team, just traded in after Rick stepped away. Right now, big A hit coming in from fully bought out Team Conquest. They're going to take 2 kills right away on the A site. You see Snacks hanging back, peeking left and right, getting juked around the corner. It looks like Taz is going to push himself right through the smoke to his own doom. Pasha left all alone. He was able to go ahead and pick up an SSG. Oh no, Rush with the knife. Take that.
The knife. Oh man, but Stanislaw will clean it up. I mean, Pasha in that situation tried to look around, tried to see if he can line up a couple of frags. The smart play there was what he did. He didn't immediately shoot. He didn't immediately get the frag. He waited to try and see if he can put himself in a very advantageous position where he could get 1, maybe 2 frags out of it, but didn't really materialize, so he went for the PM. He got the knife in the middle of the round and tried to make it happen, but that will be Conquest picking up 2 rounds now. Just holding on here, but Virtus Pro doing all that they can with just some upgraded pistols coming out. I mean, we see 1, 2, 3 P250s, and they're already working. That's 2 frags in their favor, and Bialy's right in there with one of them.
Yeah, heavy nade stack going on. That dropped Daps all the way down to 4 early on. He was able to survive that, and now you see 3 rushing out of Pop Dog very fast. Taz on top of the bomb train, looking around the corner, misses lots of shots, doing just a little bit of damage before he gets traded out. Now Stanislaw and Naf caught out, and Daps, who took so much damage from that nade push, is all alone. 4 health, he's got the MAC-10. Not much you can do. Bomb completely isolated. They've got 3 players surrounding it. Daps is going to show himself to the Pop Dog player. That was Neo. He actually pokes around the corner and takes the kill. Daps is down. Virtus Pro now on the board.
Yeah, huge round coming out there from Virtus Pro. Able to grab round 3 in their favor. Makes the score 2-1 in favor of Conquest. But Virtus Pro has the momentum going back on their side as they were able to pick up a round that Conquest should have anti-ecoed through. And pistol play just reigning superior there for Virtus Pro. They have guns on their side now. Majority of them picked up here. We got 2 UMPs, the MAC-10 coming out. We got the 2 M4s, but Conquest trying to battle into it. Shazam with the bot up. AK will find himself 2. Stan gets 1, and we have worked ourselves into a 3-on-2 in favor of Conquest.
Yeah, Neo and Taz, they've got decent weapons. You see 1 molly and a flash also. The bomb's going to start going down. Neo wants to push through the smoke, does so, and takes the shot at Pop Dog. What was that? Just whips the crosshair to the right with the SMG. That is a headshot kill. Stanislaw's going to try and come up big, defending the bomb. Not meant to be. He's dead. Bomb found in smoke by Neo. Plenty of time for the defuse, and look, man, Conquest aggressively buying up, trying to turn it around, keep the Virtus plow away, keep that economic momentum, keep the economy low for Virtus Pro, and it just doesn't work out. Now Conquest, look, they're going to be forced into a save round, not a whole lot of utility, and Virtus Pro buying up full. This is where it gets ugly for Conquest.
Yeah, this is when you, this is the exact situation we talked about beforehand, CEVO. We were talking about it's going to be on Conquest's shoulders to prevent Virtus Pro from allowing the Plow to come out too fast.
Yeah.
And we know the Plow is coming out. We know it. It's Virtus Pro. It's going to happen. It's going right now. They need to stunt that momentum as fast as they can. And this would be a situation where they can do it. They have upgraded pistols here. Snacks gets caught out in the ladder room. He ends up going down. Bialy finds the frag. Same with Pasha. So if they can drop a few more rifles out of the hands of Virtus Pro here, they already got the bomb plant, so they've set themselves up well. They get money out of this. If they can drop some more guns, force some more rebuys, kind of control the economy of Virtus Pro, even though they're losing the round, if they can force that economy back in their favor by putting Virtus Pro into a situation where, all right, we're having to rebuy 3 or 4 times every single round, as soon as Conquest can pick up a round against them, they're going to force Virtus Pro into a save. It's not going to happen yet. They only forced 2 rebuys out of this. Virtus Pro will defuse the bomb, so Virtus Pro takes the lead by 1 round. But Conquest has to prevent the Plow from getting too much momentum.
Well, I mean, for that reason, you're going to see Conquest buying up full. They've actually got plenty of money this time after losing 2 rounds in a row. So they got a decent round loss bonus. They managed their money effectively on that previous buy and then saving full. You see the op coming out in Shazam's hands, and let's see what he can do with it, pushing his face so close to the monitor. He's going to go up towards A site, towards outer, lets Naf come around the corner, and it's just a 2-pronged attack. They're coming through Pop Dog and coming through main, using all the angles and smokes. Nice. It mirrors the way Virtus Pro likes to take the site, but Naf is going to get popped out, peeking around the corner. We're in a 3v4 man advantage, slightly in favor of Virtus Pro. The rotation's already coming in, underway from the back of site. Snacks walks around and unloads with the spray. Knocking one down. He does not get traded out. Instead, backs off. It's all over.
Yeah, that from Snacks, that pop flash that came out over the smoke. Beautiful pop flash, ends up putting himself past the bomb train, working towards ladder. Puts himself right off to the right or left-hand side if you're looking directly at the E-box. In a great position, full blind player directly in front of him, working on that player trying to come out of T-Con, ends up doing enough damage there after he got the 1 frag to allow his teammates to rotate in, help him control the outside bomb site in what looked like a Conquest round. Where they had a ton of traction outside, just got mopped up thanks to the superior play of Virtus Pro.
Now, coming out of the early round, Stanislaw walks right out into the op, and immediately you have a man advantage favoring Virtus Pro. They're going to play this patient, slightly or heavily rotating in, laying down the crossfires. At this point, Conquest just, they can't do a whole lot. They're able to take some position and get in the bomb planting position. Pasha takes Naf out when he jumps up on top of bomb train, putting his head right out there. Bombs planted, that's a light consolation prize, but Shazam's not going to be able to hold the angle all the way out back from A main. He's outgunned, outnumbered, and there's your defusal.
Yeah, Virtus Pro there playing the retake extremely well. They lost some members outside. That was going to be Bialy and Snacks end up going down outside. But the biggest problem with that was they left Pasha alive at Ivy. So he had great positioning there. They did get a bomb plant. They were able to make some money out of that round, but leaving Pasha there at Ivy, he had superior positioning. He was able to work his way around those trains at Ivy into the old hell and just be a nuisance initially so his 2 teammates could work their way through the Z connector and just get up in the face of Conquest and eventually just overrun them with rifles, end up getting the defuse. But again, Conquest, good job there. You talked about it, Sabo. They got a bomb plant. They got money out of that round, so they're able to buy up full here. It's a pretty healthy buy. I mean, they got a little bit of utility, but full head armor going across the board with the op coming out in the hands of Shazam. And again, Shazam will be our opper for Conquest. Maybe we might see randomly Rush or Nafly might use it, but mainly it will be in the hands of Nafly. On the other side, let's see what Virtus Pro is going to be able to do. Op comes out for Neo, and Neo pushed very, very hard at the upper B bomb site halls, just outside of White Halls, trying to watch the stairs if anyone's going to try and work their way down lower. Nobody wants to go in that direction just yet. Looks like Conquest is going to try and throw a little bit of a fake outside.
Yeah, the aggression is giving a lot of information. Conquest, Daps is going to come peeking around the corner, get some information. He heard that op shot, and he's going to get smoked off. Now that forces, at 30 seconds left, that forces an A push, and look how close. Oh, they pass each other in smoke. Naf outside, doesn't realize anybody's behind, doesn't matter, walks into a crossfire, and he is dead. Ladder player takes Taz, and all of a sudden, this defense, this solid positioning by Virtus Pro falls apart, leaving Neo all alone at the B site, walking out with an op and a P250, 19 health, too many guns on him. And that is one heck of a round for Conquest. 5-3. Not quite enough to break the economy of Virtus.pro, but man, it keeps them in the game.
Yeah, but one of the big things here is Bialy. I mean, he's got 7 deaths so far into this. He's got 10 frags in his favor, but he only has $1,800, so he's going to rely on a teammate to be able to drop him a rifle, and they're going to buy out fully into this round. One thing we haven't talked about yet is that, I'd like to talk about anyways, that safety net, round-wise.
Oh, yeah.
From T-side. I mean, it's a heavily CT side.
Got it.
I mean, what do you want round-wise if you're Conquest from T here? What is that safety net? What do you need round-wise to be like, all right, we're going to go on the CT side, and we're okay here round-wise to be able to drop one or 2 rounds to be okay?
I'd like 7 going into this.
7 is a huge safety net.
It's a huge safety net. Maybe too much at this point because, I don't know. It seems to be a little bit more open these days for T-side, especially with these sort of smoked executes. As I say that, though, I thought Conquest was going to go ahead and start pushing the issue at a couple of shots out of A main, but they're just going to hang back. In fact, it's interesting to know, every time Conquest has been fast and aggressive, it's fallen apart for them on the gun rounds. Once they switched gears last time around and slowed it down, it worked out very nicely, but you can't go too slow because the Virtus.pro will push, and that's exactly what happens. A main, Shazam, Stanislaw, both down, and that puts the team completely spread out across the map with just 37 seconds. They're going to have to group up and do something.
Yeah, and at this point, I mean, as just Sabo just talked about there, we're down to 30 seconds at this point now. Conquest has to make something happen. They didn't make it happen fast. They just lose the bomb there. Nafly ends up going down to Snacks. Snacks is able to hit 2. Can he make it a 3rd? No, we'll end up getting caught by Daps, but Bialy very quick behind him to hit the M4 headshot. They only lose Snacks that round against the full buy coming out from Conquest. So that makes it into round 10. The score 6-3 in favor of Virtus.pro. And you have to think at this point, I mean, the plow is coming out of here. They have the momentum.
Yeah.
If they can keep this rolling in their favor, it's going to be rough because for me, my safety net is 4 to 5 rounds from the T side. Set you up, you can drop a pistol, you can try and get an eco out of that. But at the very least, realistically, 4 or 5 rounds is what you need to be trying to get here from T-side as we hit round 10, and trades already going out, all in favor of Virtus.pro on the rotate. Snacks with some huge shots, but it's all Neo this round, able to get himself 3, and he's still not down yet. Off in hand, Daps, last one left, tries to work down the ramp. He will get caught by Bialy, and that'll be 7-3 for Virtus.pro.
Yeah, Neo just coming up absolutely huge right there. I mean, it was an eco round for Conquest, and they decided to do something very simple. Just go up towards B site and drop down through lower, and they ended up getting completely mowed down. Daps hanging back and just trying to survive, do whatever kind of damage he can do. Nothing too much to worry about at that point, though, because Conquest, they're going to be able to go up and go ahead and buy up full. 7-3 is your current scoreline, though, so Conquest needs to get a couple more points on the board to really be happy with this T side. They're a little more aggressive, and this is the first time, Misled, that we've seen some pressure coming in at Ivy with a 3-man push around the corner. So here it is, Bialy watching the edge. He does get overrun, not expecting it, and this is a solid entry. Taz is outnumbered and outgunned on all sides, so he's going to go down. That leaves Neo all alone, creeping around the corner, gets out-offed by Shazam, and the confidence for Conquest is back.
Yeah, they really need to build off this round here. That's going to be 1 for them. They need to get 2 in a row here, really bolster their economy. As you can see, rebuys coming out here from the members of Conquest. That's going to put their economy pretty low here. I mean, the best that we're looking at between Rush and Nafly is 3K for Rush. Nafly with 2,800. Next closest teammate is 1,150 for Shazam, but he does have the op in his hands. He does the most damage with that op. So hopefully he can keep that rolling in his favor. It's a little bit tighter, I mean, but with Virtus.pro from CT side, already 7 rounds in their favor. They're getting very aggressive here. Nafly in a tough position, and actually he has 2 players. That's going to be Pasha and Bialy pushed up there at Ivy. We're actually going to lose Pasha to the op of Shazam. Bialy backs his way up. Now he actually comes back out through Ivy to look and see if he can grab a frag, but Conquest with that 1-man advantage.
Yeah, Snacks is going to get found out on the first train, but Neo's in position to trade it out with an op at long range. Player by Blue is done. Taz is going to get smoked out, but he's already pushed up far enough. He can just get on the other side of the smoke, no problem. gets caught out in the open, and Daps takes the kill, and suddenly it's a frag out A site take for Conquest. This is critical for Conquest because they've broken the mighty economy of Virtus Pro. The plow is not coming out just yet, and Virtus Pro's CT side is all but over. Round 13. This is fantastic if you're Conquest.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, at this point, Virtus Pro now, they're going to be forced into a save here. We're going to see some upgraded pistols come out. We're going to see 2 P250s, and the Deagle actually comes out for Pasha. Well, but we got 2 silent USPs between Snacks and Taz on the round. They're going to try and hold on here, but I mean, Conquest at this point, they're going against an ecoing team. They got to be careful. Right there at E-Box is going to be Snacks. He ends up falling down, and Conquest looking clean this round. Only player they got to beat is Pasha. Hits the 1D onto Shazam. Eats a little bit of a grenade now. He knows, or excuse me, Conquest knows exactly where he's at or where he was, at least for a little bit, but he does find himself an op, so he can hold on. And Pasha, a very accomplished opper himself, so if they go on the hunt here, they have to be worried about the fact that, all right, Pasha's last man left. He does have an op in his hands. He can op extremely well. Let's see if he's able to do it. And no, Daps with the double shoulder peek will hit the headshot from the AK, ends up taking down Pasha, and Conquest within 1 round now.
Such a typical play out of Virtus Pro right there. Even though they got mowed down, you see the aggression coming out from Pasha peeking out, and he was able to go ahead and pick up that op. I was worried for him. I didn't think he really had a chance with how many players were converging, and he was holding an angle that gave him 2 different angles he would have to worry about. So even if he got that first shot, somebody else was going to pop out to the left, and he'd be relying on flick aim. Virtus Pro this time buying up Snacks with the shoddy, and Conquest, they've learned their lesson from the earlier aggression. They're going to go ahead and play it much slower, peeking around, looking for a couple of picks. Shazam's watching towards, I think that's Neo hanging all the way back. No, that's Pasha hanging back by Ivy, hoping just, peek me, make my day. Oh, Pasha thought about it, but he's going to back off. Watch Ivy.
Yeah, Pasha doesn't commit to it. Smart play there. Just put yourself in a better position. You're already a man down at this point. There's no reason to get too super aggressive, but Snacks with that swag 7 tries to peek into T-Con, doesn't find anything out of it.
The shadow.
Stan's got to look up. Shazam will be able to take down Neo. They got to be careful here. Pasha, does he look? He peeks in time, ends up taking down. Who was that he ended up getting there? Stan is long. We also lost Rush on the round.
Daps.
Running with your knife out through White Halls down the stairs. Gets caught, and that is a brain buster, man. You do not need to be doing that if you're Daps. Taz goes down inside. We have a 2-on-1 now in favor of Virtus Pro.
That was good timing coming out for Shazam, allowing him to take Taz just as he drops down, and he knows Pasha's up there. He's trying to go ahead and peek up just ahead, surprise Pasha, but he didn't have the angle, he didn't have the position, and that's exactly why he ends up going down at that point. That's a disappointing round for Conquest. You know there's got to be a little bit of frustration, a little bit of aggression going on within their team. As long as they hang on to this slight economy they have, don't go on tilt. Keep playing disciplined and patient, and don't allow big mistakes like that knife play to happen. 8-6 still looking good for Conquest.
Yeah, Conquest already 6 rounds. We talked about it. Your safety net was 7 rounds. I mean, that might come true. We're in the final round of first half here, and Conquest already has 6 rounds in their favor. If they can get this in 8-7 half, that is absolutely huge. You hold Virtus Pro on a map that they're notoriously good on to 8 rounds. That is big. Trades go out, Stan goes down, Snacks goes down respectively for their teams. But we're evened up 4-on-4 here, and Conquest trying to grab this 7th round if they're able to.
Yeah, look at this setup going on. We have 1 player over at Ivy and also Pop Dog. So I think we're going to see a 3-prong A hit and a little bit of distraction going on with Daps lurking just outside of B site. He's going to throw the smoke to sell the idea that it's a B hit, throw some grenades, and then the mollies. Let's see if they buy it. You see 1 player working his way towards the connector. He rotates out, and now, the hit's not going to happen. Look at this. They canceled.
Yeah, they're trying to rotate this inside. That man that was at Ivy is going to try and push his way through the T-Con. They're going to try and catch Virtus Pro a little off guard here, but Neo's ready, comes out of the Z connector, picks up Rush, and Stanislaw. 2 players left alive. Trade out comes from Nafly, and the young gunner Nafly will get himself 2. Taz ends up taking down Daps. We got a 1-on-2 here in favor of Virtus Pro. Nafly in a tough spot coming out of the T-Con train. Up on top of it, he knows where at least one of the CTs is. He doesn't know where the second is. That's actually right at hell. He tries to get the bomb from E-Box. Will end up going down at the end of the half there to Virtus Pro. And if you're Conquest, you have to be happy with that half. You come into the half and you did that well from T-side against Virtus Pro on train nonetheless. That's some big rounds right there.
That's an absolutely huge win on T-side in favor of Conquest. They don't look too jazzed. They're focused. They've got the laser focus going on, discussing exactly what they want to do. But to be quite honest, that round really looked like it was going to be theirs. They had really solid positioning. They were going to do 2 down Pop Dog, 1 out main, and then they had a player sitting at Ivy. And just as the B fake starts going on, they rotated players off and reset the A take, and that's when it all fell apart. If they just stuck with the original plan, I think they'd have a much better chance of getting 1 more point. 9 and 6. There's your box scores right there. Shazam, he's on point with his all.
I mean, he's looking good. He pulled even across the board. Same with Stanislaw. On the other side of things, though, we had Neo and Bialy both positive here. I mean, Neo a little bit more than the rest of his team. I mean, he was best player in the server, at least efficacy-wise. ADR well up there, only 93.8, but still, he did what he needed to. And if you take a peek across the top of that, you see the rounds won by Conquest. They won round 1, round 2. Virtus Pro got 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Before finally Conquest shut them down in round 8, and then it was 2 rounds in a row.
That says a lot.
For Virtus Pro. I mean, there wasn't a lot of rounds strung together there by Conquest. I mean, they did what they could, but the most they had was 3 rounds in a row.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it was single rounds they were able to collect off Virtus Pro, but Virtus Pro would force them into weird eco force buys.
Yeah.
And it worked out. I mean, they won the half either way, but still, you would think Virtus Pro would come out of there a little bit more comfortable than what they did.
I'd expect them to be a lot stronger going in on that, especially on train, a map that Virtus Pro is so exceptionally good at. They picked this map, and now you're going to see Virtus Pro's T side. They're so good at this. You see a lot of utility being bought up, and already fire, smoke being thrown out by Pasha. The Pop Dog push. This is going to be a fast round, misled.
Oh, but Shazam is right there to shut down Neo. A little bit of gap in the smoke that Sabo was just talking about here, but still a good job. Virtus Pro does get the bomb plant. They have to be careful here. They have to prevent the retake coming out from Conquest. They're just trying to hold all that they can. Snacks and Taz get in there. They make it a 3-on-3. That's going to leave Shazam down to 16 HP. Daps and Rush alive. Shazam will find himself a frag, but look at the headshot that come out from Snacks. He's pushed Shazam all the way down. Shazam still at 16 HP. Oh, Pasha plays it smart. Shazam doesn't know where he's at. He's so weak on HP. Pasha has to hit these shots to win this for his team. I mean, Shazam so low, and Pasha finally gets it. Closes it out, but Snacks with the 3K. Virtus Pro will take the pistol. That's 10 rounds now in their favor, and that starts their T side off very well.
They take the pistol, but I tell you, it was a very sloppy-looking pistol take for Virtus Pro. They bought all the utility, they smoked it off, but they left a gap in the smoke. That wasted a lot of time getting into the site, as well as a couple of kills in favor of Conquest, and it keeps Virtus Pro relatively low. They're going to buy up AK-47s. They're super aggressive, and they just want to take the this map in full-on plow mode. Pasha, I can't tell with the X-ray. He might have seen a player. No, he doesn't seem to be aware exactly where he went, and flashes himself, walks right into the site. The site is given, but players already rotating into B.
Yeah, trying to wrap around Pop Dog will be Stanislaw down there at the lower ramp in the B bomb site. Doesn't find anything, but the end of an MP right in his face, and man, Conquest not even able to pick up a frag yet. Even though Bialy's all the way down to 2 HP, Snacks will close it out. Gets himself 2 on the round, and the plow is in full effect right now. I mean, it's 11-6, Virtus Pro up. They did just go against an ecoing Conquest, but I mean, if this is anything about how their T-side's going to go, it's going to get rough real fast for Conquest. They need to stop the plow as soon as they can and get some momentum going on that CT side, considering it's a CT-sided map. You need to hit the momentum. You need to hit your stride very fast, especially since you're actually down round-wise.
Well, that was their best chance right there on the second round after the half to go ahead and break the economy. And Virtus Pro, they've got the same exact weapons. They're not going to upgrade or do anything like that. They know Conquest is extremely low. And look at Snacks just kind of popping up on top of the train, working the smokes to his advantage. And just like that, Conquest gets cut down super fast, executing onto the A side. 12-6. Finally, Conquest buying up a little bit, but Virtus Pro's economy is in full effect. This is quite problematic.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to win anti-eco rounds here, either Conquest or Virtus Pro, you need to win them clean, which is what we just saw from Virtus Pro. They didn't drop a single player. No rebuys have to happen there, and that's exactly what you need. You don't even see a full upgrade coming from Neo and Taz. They're just going to rock those Galils to the best of their ability. Smokes outside. Looks like they might be splitting it here. Two players are going to be down in T-Con. One player working towards the ladder. One's going to be Ivy, so it should be an outside strat coming here for Virtus Pro. If they can hold on and play these angles effectively, but Shazam does open up with the op before Rush finally goes down. Neo, look at him, all the way into the bomb site through mid lane, doesn't even get caught out, gets a grip of information and gets some frags, but it's all up to Bialy now, 1v3.
It's clutch time for Bialy. He's got one HE grenade and an AK-47. He's going to go sneaking around the corner. Look at the positioning for Conquest, though. They're not quite sure where he is. Now they know. Stanizal spots and makes the call, and he's going to go ahead and back off. Nade does just a touch of damage, and now Shazam's working the op. He's going to miss that angle. Stanizal, all he has to do is peek around the corner, spots a flashed out, distracted Bialy for the victory. Costly, but they're able to hang on to the op. Conquest back on the board.
Yeah, score now 12-8 in favor of Virtus Pro, but we have Conquest getting on the board here. They're going to be relatively bought out into this, and I mean, that was 3 rounds in a row coming from Virtus Pro.
Yeah.
So only a 3-round loss bonus for Conquest. They reset that now with this win, or the last win that they had in round 19 to get themselves the 7th round. So they need to string together 2 here to start building up that economy. I mean, they're heavily bought out in this round. If they can't hold on here, that is going to do so much damage to their economy, and let alone the fact that there's CTs on this map. It's much more expensive to be a CT in Counter-Strike than it is to be a terrorist.
Naf takes a lot of damage through the smoke back at Ivy. Virtus Pro with 2 players stationed out there. They're going to play this one a lot slower this time around. We're looking through the eyes of Neo, scoping out the B site, trying to find somebody around the corner. One player is by ladder. He actually comes up. Pasha. Working smoke, trying to enter on Ivy. Slow play. The frags are going to start happening, though.
Man, still trying to take that outside bomb site. They have the one-man advantage. If they can pick up the player at hell, that's going to be rushed. They end up taking him down. One at the back lane still. Wow, yeah, Nafly gets one before he goes down. Bomb has not been planted yet. It's still there inside. And we are looking at the moment at about 33 seconds here. Can Neo find one with that op? He does have the bomb in his back. They have time to work with as he's worked his way out of ladder, and he's going to go for the safety plant at that A bomb site. It will be a 2-man retake attempt coming out here for Conquest.
Yeah, Conquest. One goes down in Z connector, and then Shazam, just like that. And I'll tell you what, during that particular round, Conquest was they were backing off, playing into a much more of a passive, almost a retake position at A site, and they did that at the exact same time that Virtus Pro began to execute. And they didn't do an aggressive sort of execute at all. They started just walking into the site, taking their time. Not the typical sort of stuff you see from this team. What's going on here? We got a timeout going on.
Looks like we do have some sort of a pause coming out here between the two teams. Yeah, I mean, if you're Conquest, you need to probably attack at this point to figure out, all right, guys, we need to calm down, control our breathing a little bit, be ready for what the Virtus Pro plow is going to be trying to do to us. I mean, Virtus Pro from T side, they now have 13 rounds in their favor, and let's see if they can hold on to that. Maybe make it 14 out of this one, because, again, Conquest really bought into this one. They spent a lot of money committing to it here. They want to change the tide. But, I mean, if Virtus Pro can make this a 14-7 game, it should be either against a really weird force buy coming from Conquest that they can get round 15, or it's going to be Conquest on a basically just a pistol upgrade, which either way does not bode well at all for Conquest.
Yeah, looks like the timeout has been called off. Conquest they're out of money at this point. So it's kind of strange for them to be calling some sort of a tactical timeout at this point, because this round is essentially going to be a throwaway. They could use this time to their advantage, but they don't have a whole lot of rounds to throw away. Three more until Virtus Pro go ahead and take it. VP, Snacks just watching all the angles, catches Shazam just outside. One player's up on top of Train, though. Snacks could get peeked, and
he does.
Yeah, that was Nap playing on top of the Train.
Yeah, Nap's one of those guys with a pistol, with any gun in his hands, actually can do a lot of damage with it, and he just shows it off. They're able to take down Snacks, make this an even 4-on-4, with Virtus Pro with the lead in their favor. And Bialy does find the shot on Stanislaw, even though Stanislaw peeked out wide. Neo getting an op shot of his own off. That'll make it a 4-on-2 with Daps and Rush left alive. Rush is going to be into the Z connector. We're going to have Daps trying to work his way through CT spawn. But I mean, the bomb rotating the long way through Ivy. That's going to bode well if your Conquest is getting a little bit more time off the clock. You just may need to make sure you hit your shots.
Yeah.
Nope, not able to do it.
I think Rush got sold on that too. There was nothing going on at the A site, so he starts backing off towards spawn to figure out exactly what's going on. Maybe there's something happening at B site and he just gets found out. That's fine. It was an eco round. Conquest, though, their money is excessively low. They have to buy. It's 14-7. You've got to get some sort of a point. So they're going to buy a full up with FAMASas, and they have relatively limited utility as well. They've got lots of smokes, not much in terms of flashes. So once they choose a site, they're going to execute. It looks like they really want to do something very hard, dropping down, pop down, no surprises. And
oh, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Expects it. Snacks, like, what the heck?
Wow. Snacks with the op in hand. Hits a decent shot the first time. Hits the no-scope the second time.
Wow.
And that'll get the crowd roaring right there. If you're Virtus Pro, you're up by a player. Even though you've already lost Taz, you even things out. Actually give yourselves the one-man advantage here on map number 1. Let's see if they can roll through this. I mean, they want to end this as fast as possible. The bad thing that Virtus Pro can do here, even if they win this one fast, that's going to be very, very demoralizing if you're Conquest.
Yeah, well, at this point, worse than demoralizing. I mean, they're out of money.
Yeah.
It's looking like this is absolutely going to be a 16-7 type of scoreline, unless Stanislaw can work out some sort of a miracle. If anybody can do it, it's going to be Stanislaw. Such a good player.
The flank from inside, though.
Oh, he should see Snacks, spots him, sprays with the FAMAS, does so much damage. He lights the guy red, drops him to 11 health, and Snacks survives. Stands down 15-7. We're on match point misled with Conquest's economy lying in shambles.
Yeah, I mean, Conquest bought into that round. They did all that they could to try and prevent Virtus Pro from getting ahead this fast. But, I mean, Virtus Pro at a map point here, 15-7. This is a best-of-3 series here between these two teams. And we will be going to Inferno next, no matter what, whoever wins this. But, I mean, if Virtus Pro gets this, that's going to be really rough for them.
Yeah.
For Conquest, anyways, considering Virtus Pro just dominated from their CT side. Their T side looking good. Oh, Neo trying to grab an op shot. Gets it with the P250 anyways. Can't collect the second one because Daps in his face with the Swag 7. So Conquest with a little bit of life in this round.
Well, notice that Conquest went ahead and bought up armor. They've got that at the very least.
Man.
So if you pick up some guns, you can do something. Now we're in a 3-versus-3 situation.
No.
What are you doing? Bialy takes 2 kills. And
wow.
Instantly, Conquest gets mopped up. I thought for a moment they're starting to pick up some weapons. They've got some armor.
Yeah.
There's a chance you can do something with this, and then it's over. You see Snacks right there. Taz unimpressed. I mean, they're just, yeah, you know, whatever. We're doing our thing. We're Virtus Pro. We're the Virtus Plow. We've got the first map. Now we got to move on to Inferno. Ain't no big thing.
Yeah, Virtus Pro looking like the Virtus Pro that we would expect. I mean, there are reigning champions here at CEVO. They came here, they played a best-of-3 series against Na'Vi. They beat them in the grand finals. They're coming back, their first match of the weekend. They go against Conquest, and Conquest, as we talked about earlier, they were the dark horse. They were the team that, like, if they can pull out that randomness that we know they're capable of, they can take a map off Virtus Pro. And map number 1, that did not happen in their favor.
Let's be fair. That's Train. This is a map that Virtus Pro is so good at. They're one of the best teams in the world at playing Train. They do some unique things. In fact, they did pull that weird diagonal strat one time. It got scary on them on that particular round. This time we're moving into Inferno. I'm not going to say that it necessarily benefits Conquest. I'm not expecting them to go ahead and win the win the map on Inferno, but Virtus.pro don't play Inferno very much. It's it's their second most banned map within the CEVO series. They don't like it, and Conquest, if they've done their homework, if they've done their research on Virtus.pro, which I expect they have, they're going to go ahead and try to force Virtus.pro to play sort of off the home field advantage. And we are here in North America at the MLG Arena in Columbus, Ohio. All the fans are obviously going to be cheering and hoping Conquest can do something. They're like that long shot hope for the American team.
I mean, I saw some Virtus.pro jerseys out there. So I mean, Virtus.pro is Europeans are not on their own out here. I mean, there's some fans here in Columbus, Ohio, at the CEVO finals that are rooting. So I mean, both teams got a lot of fans out here.
Here's the thing about Virtus.pro. I mean, on the one hand, you want to be a homer. You want to be like, my home team. And I bought into it when Cloud9 was absolutely on fire last summer. I mean, I'm just like, Cloud9, untouchable. Let's do this. But at the same time, you look at a team like Virtus.pro specifically, and I think they're one of the most likable teams out there. You've got a guy like Taz, who's so extremely personable, super nice guy. If you ever meet him in person, I mean, he's friendly. He's welcoming and inclusive. And then Pasha, who's quite the character himself.
My friend.
Yes, my friend.
Excuse me. Amazing play, though, came out from Virtus.pro. They showed why they're one of the best teams in the world on Train. So now we set our sights towards map number 2, which will be Inferno.
Yes.
And, man, Conquest needs to come up very big on Inferno here. They have to try and force on map number 3. It's going to be tough. Virtus.pro aim on point right now. They're shooting very well. They're checking their angles. They're playing their corners. Their smoke game. Virtus.pro is always one of these teams that no matter what. They did, but still, their smokes and flashes have always been on point. That's one thing that's very consistent with Virtus.pro. Their grenade game is always amazing, and even if they don't hit the shots that they need to hit, they're not on point with their aim. They can just work off the fact that their smokes and flashes are so good, and they're always where they need to be to play the angles that they need to win those gun battles.
One of the things that really set Virtus.pro apart is the fact that they're one of the most senior teams within the circuit, not just in terms of age, being the oldest team. They're the old men here.
As a unit, they've been around for
it's the
very, very long time.
In Counter-Strike terms, right? The Golden Five. They've been playing together for so long. And then you compare with every other team who's doing
the new
slops.
Guy on the roster. Bialy's the new guy, and he's been there for
ages. I mean,
it feels like 10 years. I know it hasn't been 10 years, but Bialy,
he was long enough.
Is great.
Long enough that it doesn't even register in my notes. January 25th, 2014. So they've been playing together for an exceptionally long time. And then you look at somebody like Conquest. This is a completely new team as of this season. They followed the breakup of Tempo Storm and Elevate. They're going to mix the two teams together. And then they're not immune to roster changes, because just recently Rix was dropped from the team out of nowhere, and then they brought Stanislaw in to fill in. He's a super strong, super heavy carry player for Team Coast, and now it's good to see him representing live on LAN once again. He was actually huge last time around playing for Tempo Storm on LAN as well, so it's great to see
they put up great numbers against Virtus.pro last time they were here. So I mean, it's a roster of very talented players. That they don't have the same chemistry yet that we've seen from Virtus.pro. I expect big things from this Conquest roster if they can stay together and get a couple more lands under their belt. Maybe do a little bit more going forward. Play another season online. Get used to each other. I think it's a talented enough roster that they can put up big numbers eventually. They just haven't quite got to that position yet. And Virtus.pro capitalizing on that.
The key is really just keeping a solid roster and being super consistent with it, and also having good chemistry as a team. It's funny when you look at Virtus.pro, because sometimes they don't necessarily have the greatest chemistry. Like, they do get upset, like visibly upset when things aren't going well. You see that sometimes, like at the last major with that G2 game. But they always come back together. They're a band of brothers that have been together for such a long time.
Yeah, definitely. And so now, guys, we set our sights on map number 2, which is actually going to be Inferno coming up here shortly. Teams are on a break in between these maps, so I think ourselves, we're going to go on a commercial break real quick. Once we have players ready to roll in the server on map number 2, we're going to bring this thing live for you guys. So remember, we're here at the CEVO MLG Season 8 Pro League Finals, trying to find out who's going to go forward between Virtus Pro and Conquest. We'll be back, hopefully fast here, guys, so bear with us. We're going to be back as soon as we can.
Keep it locked.